Hey, this is Turks Aquatics, and I was in the middle of something, and I just thought, why don't I video this and put it on there? This will probably be a really short video. I'm going to tell you how to disable the claw on a crawfish, or crayfish, however you want to say it. Now, I do, as you can probably tell, I catch my own live feeders. I don't really like live feeders. I mean, I'm not one of those people who, likes to see them eat another animal. It kind of sucks in my opinion. But I have to feed crayfish to my pufferfish. I have a fugu puffer that I bought it, but I bought it cheap because he has an injured tail. But anyways, I like to clip the claws so that they can't attack them. Usually I freeze them or kill them in as humane of a way as I can. But I clip the claws whenever I'm going to do them live. Now the way that I clip the claws, I'm not gonna clip the claws on video because I don't want to, gross anybody out, But anyways, this is a smaller size claw. This is probably a female. Yeah, it's a female. But by the way, see how the bottom of the tail is kind of a little bit of a rounded shape from base to tip, and it's not perfectly straight. That is a female. They will be straight like a stick if it's a male. Anyways, I do one of two things. Whenever I feed crayfish, he doesn't eat them right away. So they have to be able to survive in the tank without, starving to death, which sucks. So I only clip a little bit off the tip so it's not sharp. So right about there, I'll take a pair of scissors and I'll just snip it off right there. That way they can still pick up food and eat, without a problem. They can pick up food without their claws, but it's a little bit easier for them. Another way, if your fish is going to eat them immediately, is they have one pincher that can move, and they have one that is stationary. Just clip one of them off. Usually the one that moves is easier, and that one will, they can't pinch them. Now they can still grab them with these little feet, and that's literally nothing. It's like poking them with a piece of pine straw. It's nothing. But without that, I've seen videos, and I've seen it myself, where the crawfish grabs onto the fish in the face whenever he bites him, because he's freaking out for his life, and it really, really hurts. See, this one has a little bit of a longer claw. This is probably a male. Yep, see a straight tail, rather thin and long. That's a male. This one has, if I can not get bit here, he has longer pinchers. So I would pinch it off right about halfway, just enough that it's not pointy. Because then it's just like taking your fingers and doing this versus doing this. It's not really going to hurt. Now, I have finished clipping all the crayfish that were in the bucket, and they are in here, and, you can see them. But something else I did not think about that I've never done, because I don't really go fishing much. I like fishing, but I just don't go much, is you could probably do this for using crayfish as bait. Because, let's just say you're going bass fishing, and your bass bites its crawfish, and you're trying to catch him, and he bites the bass before you hook him, and then you've lost your bass. So, why not? It ain't gonna hurt. Also, another thing is, whenever you just rip off the arm, or break off the arm, or whatever, that will, if you're going to keep him for a while, that will make him want to molt and grow a new arm back. And because crayfish can grow any part of their body back as long as their functioning organs can still survive. So they can be nothing but a head and a mouth. As long as they can digest food and breathe, they will regrow anything. And yes, it's true. I've seen it. It's true. And crazy. But anyways, don't rip off the arm. That hurts a lot more. And, they'll grow it right back, and then you'll have to do it again. So just clip the tip off the claws. It don't hurt much. Also, one last thing. I usually don't feed live crawfish because I don't have to. I prefer to kill them first because, in my mind, it is a horrific death getting chopped to pieces alive by pufferfish. I mean, in my mind, that's like a chainsaw massacre, so that would suck, in my opinion. I would rather die a kind of go to sleep death. And that's kind of what the freezing them does. They get cool, they kind of pass out, and then they just freeze and die. And it's a pretty simple process to freeze them and keep them long term. Although I don't like to keep them too long because they get freezer burned. But I'll show you that process in just a moment. Firstly, I just take all of my crawfish and I just put them in a bag or a bowl or something, and I just put them in the freezer. That way they die and they don't crawl out of the pan whenever I'm flash freezing them. Basically is what I do. After they have been killed, you know, in the least painful way possible, I take them and I lay them out on a napkin on the counter and just let them air dry off. Don't try and use a hair dryer or something, because that could cook it or whatever. I just give it time. Just let it air dry. And once they're dry and they're not really wet, I take them and I put one in each hole in a little muffin tin. And they ain't got to fit in there perfect. Yeah, just to keep them from touching each other. And then I freeze them again, and I let them freeze really good, and, you know, probably a day or so I let them freeze. After that, I pull them out of this muffin tin, and I throw them in an old fish food container, and that's what I keep them in. I just put them in that can and put the can in the freezer, and whenever I need to feed my fish, I pull one out and throw it in there. He's been dead for a long time, and he's not rank or anything, so it works out really good for me. I mean... And I feel better about it. I don't feel like I'm hurting my pufferfish, and I feel like I'm killing him and the crayfish in as least painful of a way as possible. I mean, I've had other people disagree with me, but in my opinion, I would much rather be frozen to death than chopped to pieces alive with a machete, which is basically what you're going to do when you put him in there. Now, I just thought I'd also show you, this is just what I put it in. I buy the big can of flake food, and it lasts me a few months because I have several fish. And this is just what I put them in. And once they're frozen and they, you know, are separated and they're loose in there, I have to set the phone down to show you the inside, so I'll just have to change scenes. And as you can see, there's, I don't know, probably 10, 15 in there. And they're loose. They're not stuck together. And I didn't clip their claws because, you know, they're not being fed live. It didn't matter. But yeah, this is what I keep them in. I usually fill the can about halfway, because anything more than that and they start to freeze or burn before I use them all, and freeze or burn food sucks to us, so I would imagine it tastes horrible to them too. And as I give you a view of a few crayfish that I have clipped, I will go ahead and say goodbye, because this is about the end of this video. It was supposed to be a, rather short video. I didn't even do it with the camera. I just did it with my phone because I was standing here doing this, and I just thought, why not make a video of it, It's not going to hurt anything. So, there you go. That's pretty much how I do it. It's not hard, It's not hard, and it's pretty humane. I mean, the crayfish, 9 times out of 10, don't even flinch whenever I snip the claw. Now, when you accidentally cut the antenna, yeah, they freak out, but with just doing the claw, most of the time they don't even flinch. So, anyways, this has been Turks Aquatics, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.